Hello and pleasure to be with you here today. My name is Ariel Weinstein, CEO of Ophthalmic Sciences, a company dedicated to developing novel solutions for telediagnostics in glaucoma. The company was established in mid-2019, so we're still an emerging company, but we have a lot on our plate. We are looking right now at developing an intraocular pressure monitor, which we hope will do to the glaucoma field much like the glucometer did for the diabetes field. So let's go on with the presentation. Let's talk a little bit about intraocular pressure. So a patient goes into their clinician today in the afternoon. As we know, IOP fluctuates. The result could be regular and normal. If he had come earlier that day, that result may have been irregular. This is where the whole concept of user-administered devices for measuring IOP comes into play, where there is a growing understanding that measuring and tracking IOP throughout the day and over a course of time can be helpful in administering better care for glaucoma patients. So our product is called the IO Perfect, and as you can see in this video, it is intended for use in a home setting, simply placed over the head, looks like a VR headset. A patient presses the start button, and then after a 2-minute period, simply places it down and goes back and resumes their daily activities. So we're talking about a non-contact device, no puffs, no contact with the eye at all. This is designed for self-administered use at home. It could, of course, also be used in a clinic, emergency rooms, general practitioners, family practitioners, and so forth. This is a 2-minute automated procedure during which slight air pressure is inserted into the mask, into this VR-like headset, up to 60 millimeters of mercury, which is quite low, and that manipulates and creates the effect that we need, that we will discuss in a moment. The results are then accessed by the healthcare practitioners over a secure cloud system. This is a medical-grade system with photophotosmography used to analyze, which is unaffected by corneal thickness. So this is something which is a departure from other technologies that do require contact with the eye. And we are talking about a very cost-effective device, which is intended to be priced, user-priced, at just about a few $100s at most, which is a significant change from anything out there today. So a little bit about how the technology works. There's a recording of the eye by using 2 standard cameras inside the VR headset. Those record the eyes during those 2 minutes as the pressure slowly builds up to 60 millimeters mercury. Now, at the end of the recording, an algorithm comes into play, which identifies 2 discrete areas in the eye, one in the sclera and one in the iris, and creates a graph. And I'll explain to you now exactly how it does that. So it actually segments each and every slide, each and every frame in this video, analyzes it through a deep learning artificial intelligence process called CNN, segments each eye frame to the sclera, the iris, and the pupil. With that, there is additional analysis done in order to create maps, heat maps or color maps, as you can see here. And for each of the different pressures that the eye was subject to, you can see here the difference where the center has the highest degree of coloration, which corresponds to the peak of the graph that you can see here. So you can see here how this has been translated into those graphs. The difference between the peaks of those 2 graphs is the intraocular pressure, since the vasculature in the iris is subjected to the vitreous, to the IOP, while the vasculature of the sclera is not. And that is the only difference between those 2. So this is how the concept works. Of course, this whole thing is proprietary, the algorithm and the device itself and the concept as a whole. Now, we're talking about a platform technology. So we're talking about a product that can be easily tweaked, especially the algorithm itself, to identify multiple conditions such as cataract, nystagmus, exophthalmia, and many others, as you can see here. And this is something that we are planning on developing over the course of the upcoming year to create a full eye care telediagnostic suite per se. which can be used anywhere to conduct a scan of any person coming into their doctor. With regards to where we are today, we are now conducting a clinical study at a major hospital here in Israel on 200 eyes. We expect to complete this study by the end of this year and then start a pivotal study, which will take us through all the way to market approval via regulatory approval in the US toward the beginning of 2023, so just about a year and a half from now. And in order to achieve that, we are now raising post-seed subscription. We'd be more than happy to speak with any of you who have interest in collaborating in that sense. We have a wonderful team that is part of the company, very strong and very dedicated, and we're working together with partners, including names such as Maccabi, which is the strongest healthcare system here in Israel, which we also conduct our clinical study at. So eventually, yes, our intention is to create the next glucometer for glaucoma, and hopefully with sufficient support, we'll be able to reach that objective soon. And thank you.